Aloha everybody, welcome to part 2 of Sonic Adventure. We are now taking on the Egg Hornet! What the hell was that? Anywho, yeah, we're taking on the Egg Hornet, which is the first boss fight with Eggman here, and it's pretty easy. This is one of the earlier bosses in the game, so go figure. Basically, he loves to shoot missiles at you. They kinda home in on you, but Sonic's so fast he can outrun them no problem. And then he tries to drill at you, and like you get stuck in the ground, and you just jump into him. Pretty self-explanatory. Unlike the Genesis games, you can't actually jump into the bottom of Eggman's Eggmobile. The bottom of the cockpit will actually damage Sonic. So I guess he's reinforced the black part with some kind of burning metallic alloy. I don't know how it works, but Sonic can't exactly jump into the bottom anymore. It might also be the boosters that kind of hurt Sonic. It doesn't matter. The point is, you have to wait till Eggman tries drilling for you, then you jump into him. And yeah, that's the first Eggman boss fight. Pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. I like how they show off how the Eggmobile just attaches all the parts to it, you know? It's just like the Genesis games.
Well, that wasn't so hard.
Aha!
Oh no!
Come on, Chaos! Time to eat!
Chaos? Oh no, isn't that the same monster I saw the other day?
Oh, yes! It's just as the stone tablets predicted! His strength increases every time I feed him a Chaos Emerald! With all 7 emeralds in him, he'll be invincible! And work for me! Together, we'll destroy Station Square! And on its ruins, I'll build Robotnik Land, the ultimate city, where I will rule it all! Come on, Chaos! Let's find another emerald, shall we?
Sonic! We can't let him get away with this, can we?
No way, Tails!
Without more emeralds, the monster can't transform, so it's up to us to get the emeralds before Eggman does, huh?
Alrighty, so wasn't that some awesome exposition? Once again, I mentioned in part 1 of my original Sonic the Hedgehog LP that Dr. Robotnik is known as Dr. Robotnik in North America. Has been ever since we were kids. But in Japan, he's always been called Eggman. Sonic Adventure kept the Robotnik name, but they tried incorporating the Eggman name as a sort of insult that Sonic and friends would call Robotnik. And I always thought that was a clever way of doing it, except for the fact that, you know, he constantly calls his machines, you know, the Death Egg, the Egg Hornets. You know, he gives all kinds of egg puns to his machines and his lairs, so that I understand why when Sonic Adventure 2 rolls around, they decided to retcon Robotnik's name, but I still like the attempt to make Eggman an insult and keep his name Robotnik. But, yeah. So yeah, we needed the jewel next to Tails' house to enter this Windy Valley, which is the second zone in the game. And Tails is actually playable. Tails follows you when he's with you in story mode, and if you try and replay levels of Sonic, which you can do, you can always go back to the hub world and go back into a level you've played before. And when you do that, Tails will actually be there, and he can actually go to levels he wasn't in before. For example, you know, Tails could go in Emerald Coast Zone and help you out. Just like the old Genesis games, you can actually control Tails with the second controller. So if you have a friend over and he wants to help you with Sonic Adventure, you can always have him grab hold of Tails. Granted, Tails doesn't have the camera following him or anything, but it's still a neat little feature that I enjoy. And oh my god, Sonic got sucked into a tornado. I love the level concepts of Sonic Adventure. 1 minute we're just running around this canyon area, and then we get sucked into a tornado, and then we get out to... Oh, what's that music? Oh man, that's the Green Grove music from Sonic 3D Blast. They've remixed it. And it's the Green Grove music from the Genesis version of the game, by the way. Not the Saturn version of the game. Because no one likes the Saturn version's music. No one! My word is fact. Factual evidence. I'm joking, by the way. So yeah, Windy Valley is fucking awesome. I love the absurdity of this 3D world, how they've established that now Sonic lives in this world with humans, and, well, he's always lived in this world with humans. I mean, Dr. Eggman is a human, go figure, but, like, you know, we only seen civilization from the background in the old Genesis games, you know? Like, when you're running around Chemical Plant Zone, you'll see, like, buildings and stuff, and we always assumed humans lived in those buildings. And the same thing goes for, like, Spring Yard Zone in the original game, or Casino Night, or whatever. We always assumed humans lived in the world. Dr. Eggman is one, but they were always in the background or whatever. It's kind of like the Mega Man series, where we understand we're saving humans from Dr. Wily and his robots, but we never see them, do we? But, yeah. That's Windy Valley. It's fantastic. Has a remix from Sonic 3D Blast. And really fun to play. I love getting sucked up in the tornado.
The train headed for Station Square will be departing soon.
And that's a little audio cue that you might want to go back to Station Square. However, there is another thing that can really guide you where to go in Sonic Adventure. So you're never lost in Sonic Adventure, I find. But basically, in both Mystic Ruin and Station Square, there is this ball of energy that's in the big open areas. And you can always go up to that ball of energy, and this female voice will give you a little hint, a little indication on what you're supposed to be doing. Is it true you saved the entire world? What's happening with Angel Island? How the fuck would I know? I'm not Knuckles. From now on, the casino is only open at night. There's a casino in Station Square. Ooh! That sounds like a fun place to be. But yeah, there are day cycles in the hub worlds. You know, we were in Station Square when it was daytime. After finishing Windy Valley, now it's sunset, so now the sky is reflecting as such. All the civilians have new things to say. They're always changing constantly throughout the game. It's not just like they have one thing they're going to say the entire game. It's like every time you finish a level, have an event happen, they have something new to say. It's always fun. I remember I did a playthrough just to see what everyone was saying one time, and it was really fascinating. But yeah, that ball of energy we ran into told us that there's an open manhole cover somewhere that leads to the sewer. So you can probably get a hint that we need to go into the sewers. But this is the other area of Station Square. This is originally where we fought Chaos in the City Hall part. There's a shop over here, and there's actually something in this shop that you can grab and take back with you in order to increase your enjoyment. But we can't... I didn't really take it in this part, but basically there's a golden egg out in the window here. You try taking it, the pedestal lifts, and all of a sudden there are bars in the doors, and you can't leave now. Because Sonic's not a shoplifter, right? Well, he is. But basically, in order to get that golden egg, what you have to do is, around the City Hall area where you fought Chaos, there's actually a rock that's an egg-shaped rock, you know? It looks exactly like the golden egg, only it's a rock. You grab that, you take the golden egg off the pedestal, and then you put the rock on the pedestal, and it tricks the surveillance system and makes the door open. So where do you go with the golden egg? What is the golden egg used for? I'm going to be going into an extra video with this for Sonic Adventure, but there is something called a Chow Garden. And in the Chow Garden, you can actually raise these little Tamagotchi, somewhat Pokemon, well, not Pokemon, but you can raise this little creature called Chow, which are introduced in Sonic Adventure, which we'll be seeing more of in this playthrough. But the golden egg is actually a golden Chow. And if you bring it to the Chow Garden, which is located in the hotel of Station Square, then you have a golden Chow, and now you have, you know, a golden Chow. And that's always swell. There's a big subplot that constantly we're going to keep seeing throughout this playthrough about this girl who's in love with the burger shop guy. Like, the guy who's running the burger shop, but she can't really get the nerve to talk to him, and she keeps... Every time you come back to that area, she gets a little bit closer, and a little bit closer, and a little bit closer, and... Well, we'll see the results of that later. Ooh, what's this?
Now you've got light speed shoes. Press and hold the action button to store up power. Once you have enough power, release the button and you can do the light speed dash. The light speed dash lets you race toward rings at light speed. As long as there's a trail of rings, you can go just about anywhere.
Well, thanks for that disembodied voice. So yeah, there are upgrades in Sonic Adventure, and you can find about maybe 2 to 3 of them, depending on the character. Well, actually, there is one character who gets like maybe 5 or 6, but we'll get to that later. And these upgrades give you new abilities. For example, for Sonic here, he can store up energy with his spin dash and use the rings to ricochet wherever the line of rings are going. Hey, don't use the back door! So yeah, now we have that feature. Anytime we see a trail of rings floating in air, we can use that spin dash upgrade to go along that line of rings. And now that it's nighttime, we might be able to check out that casino we heard mentions of earlier. Again, if you're ever lost, you just consort the guiding ball of light, and she will give you a little clue as where you should be going. So you're never lost in Sonic Adventure, which I appreciate. We got our first upgrade, and we're already going to get our second upgrade, which is located at the top of the hotel here. Basically, there are these 2 switches. One opens a door, the other has a line of rings. Obviously, we use a line of rings to get in there before the door closes. And yeah, here's our second upgrade.
This is the Crystal Ring. This reduces the time needed to store power for the light speed dash.
So now we can store up the light speed thing a lot quicker. Pretty much, that's self-explanatory. Not sure why we get a little ring on our arm, or why... I guess, I don't know how the ring works, but it doesn't matter. Blah, 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 blah. Every time you come to the pool area at nighttime, there's no one out there. Go figure, I don't think most people would be swimming in the pool, or allowed to be swimming in the pool at night, but you know. So this is the casino area next to the hotel, and don't worry guys, I'm not going to be explaining every area for the rest of the game. Obviously, this is like this is the second part, so I'm just showing it off now, but I'm letting you get to know Station Square here. This is also connected to the train station. There's a stairway that leads directly to where the trains are, if you ever need to quick cut to Mystic Ruins, so you don't have to go through the hotel again. Anyway, use the light speed dash to open that switch on the casino sign, which opens the doors and takes us to our third stage, Casinopolis, which we will see in part 3. See you then.